Right, this is a continuation of the ranks, but not just ranks. I'm just putting that down. Dying Light, The Fall. That one is probably the best one out of my whole entire games I ever owned. When it first came out, I never watched gameplay of it. I'd never seen it, and then I played it. I played it. I got it, and then I played it, and I've never had so much fun playing a game since Dying Light. Like the the open world is truly amazing. Like it's really open, and you can mess around with the ragdolls, with the ragdoll zombies, and you can also run. You can also do parkour. You could do anything. And it's not just in one map, you can do multiple maps. There's like so many. And there's so many side quests, there's so many main missions, there's so many that'll keep you going and going and playing. But the one but and the DLC, that's not just an ordinary DLC. Like every other game makes DLCs and they're just like, add-ons or like, cosmetics. Dying Light makes it so that the DLC is worth buying, because the DLC is like another game. They could have easily just got the following, the DLC, the following, and just made a different game, like Dying Light 2, the following. But no, they didn't do that, because if they did that, it'd just be a continuation. But they didn't want that. They just wanted a different game altogether for Dying Light 2. So they added DLC to the following. And the map is bigger, and you need to actually ride a car to get where you need to go. Like, that's how big it is. If you compare the Dying Light maps, the two maps, like the slums and what's that other one? Old Tower, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. And put them together, put those two maps together, it wouldn't compare with the following, because it's super huge. It has so many, it has so many side quests, it has so many main missions, that, that's why Dying Light is always going to be remembered as one of the as the second greatest zombie game ever made, because it makes you free. It makes you free up in those genres, in the zombie genre. In third place, it is Saints of Sinners, Walking Dead Saints of Sinners. But in first place, this number one, the zombie game, is Left 4 Dead. Now, I know I'm Left 4 Dead 2K, but you're probably wondering why it leaves such an impact to me. You think the reason why I love Left 4 Dead so much is because, first off, I first played it, that was my first zombie game ever. Second, also, it's the founding father of Dying Light. If Dying Light didn't exist, if the directors of Dying Light, which took inspiration from Left 4 Dead, like all the special effects from Dying Light came from Left 4 Dead, and grew with that, and they didn't want to make it as better as Left 4 Dead. They just want to make it as good, you know what I mean, like second good, and they did a completely good job. They did a completely brilliant job, because so many games like Earthfall, so many Left 4 Dead copies tried to do what Left 4 Dead, but they couldn't compare because Left 4 Dead was a masterpiece. Left 4 Dead was something that no one could have done, and Dying Light took inspiration. If Left 4 Dead didn't exist, Dying Light wouldn't exist because it grew, and Dying Light took that and grew. I know Dying Light also has the Left 4 Dead DLCs with the weapons, but that proves my point more, that it takes inspiration from Left 4 Dead, and it grew with those thoughts, with those lessons on not being the best, but who you are, and that's true meaning of harmony, and that's why Dying Light is deserving of second place, because it doesn't want to go on first place like Left 4 Dead. It wants to be in second place, and it does a brilliant job. It pounds you in with all this atmosphere. It pounds you in. The only problem is the villain of Dying Light. He was terrible. He had no good motivation, and his death was just a quick time event. But in the second one, in the following, maybe she was pretty good, but she wasn't really. Let's just be honest. But you can't just compare. You cannot just say that the gameplay was immersive and it was fun and it was the most memorable adventure you'll ever have in your entire life. But remember our founding father, which is Left 4 Dead, because without Left 4 Dead, Dying Light wouldn't exist. You wouldn't get these good games. You wouldn't get these copies, these Left 4 Dead copies. You wouldn't get all these good games because they took inspiration from the founding father, Left 4 Dead. Now, Saints and Sinners took inspiration from Walking Dead, but it's in its own unique way. So that's why it's third place. It's in its own unique way from the rest. But remember our founding father that started the best, like how zombie games should be, like how zombie games should be played as, how zombie games should be built on. Not as the same, like 4 people surviving a zombie apocalypse, like Earthfall did that, and Back 4 Blood is coming soon, and I can't wait for that because I feel like it's either going to be good or it's going to be bad, and it's going to ruin the reputation of Left 4 Dead. I feel like it should be good. I feel like it would be good, and remember the franchise as something great. I just hope so. I just hope. We can only hope. But that's why no zombie game out there can compare to Left 4 Dead. And in my opinion, Left 4 Dead is the one magnum opus that no one can get. It's like the holy grail that no one can drink out of except for the chosen one, which isn't probably me.